And you have to look at your life and identify stuff that works like that, you know, stuff that compounds. This is awesome. If you grind really hard and develop systems in your life that compound, you will have a much easier life later. Okay, let's do another one of those unscripted videos. Today we're talking about compounding. And when most people think about compounding, they think about money, but I like to think of many other things that also compound in your life. And it's a concept that kind of gets me going, because if I think in terms of compounding, I find the motivation to do the things I'm doing. Everyone knows compound interest. It's when the curve gets vertical and stuff just compounds on its own, and like stocks grow by percentages and dividends get bigger and more every year. But a lot of stuff in life also compounds. Imagine basic things like your skills or your system that you use for productivity, or tiny little things that you build where you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. That's a big one. There are tons of things, if you think about them, they actually compound if you invest time in it. Skills, knowledge, relationships, reputation, confidence compounds, and systems compounds, like productivity system. What you have to think like you have to think like the actions in your life like little investments. So let's pick something out of my daily life, my Linux configuration, for example. I have a Linux machine, and if I install a new computer, I don't reinvent the wheel. I have a configuration. It's tracked in version control. All the packages I need, I have install scripts for them. All the configuration files are there. All my automation cron jobs, all my programs are basically tracked with Git. Version control is basically something, if you don't know this, we usually in tech we develop code with this, where you do commits, and you have a history of changes, and you can do different branches and merge them. And not important bit is I'm dragging my Linux configuration around, like, I think it's over 15 years now. I'm moving it from machine to machine to machine, and every time it gets more sophisticated. It gets bigger. I wouldn't say it requires more maintenance, but it gets more complex and opaque, because I don't remember everything I put in there. But the point is, I drag this around like for years now, and it always gets better, and I'm adding more things, and I'm automating stuff, and I'm putting in aliases and functions that make my life easier. It's so ingrained in my daily life that I don't even think about it. I have tons of files of shell functions which help me manage my daily life, like conversion of images, conversion of video. My entire YouTube pipeline is in there. It kind of just, but the point is, this is something in my life that compounds. My time investment in my configuration automates my life, makes my life easier, faster, more efficient. I have more fun managing stuff because everything has less friction. Which is another big thing that compounds. Low friction, which I always say, if you have like If you always look at the things you do from a lens of how can I make this easier next time, and then invest the time to actually improve the process. This can be as stupid as example, my girlfriend needed to do taxes a couple of days ago. So what did she do? Yes, first, I don't have the login, I don't have my password. What's the password for my password manager? I don't have it in my password manager. I need to find the documents. I need to find the physical documents in my folder. And then she went searching for the stuff, and she still didn't know her login and whatever. The point is, you have to remove friction from all of that. If you imagine you don't want to do taxes, but you need to do them. And even if you decide now is the time I do my taxes, then at least it should be as easy as possible to get to the point where you actually make them, and not prepare for 10 hours just to get to the point where you can finally do your taxes. Life gets so much easier if you remove the friction in the beginning. Over the year, make notes about what is deductible from taxes. Write down a checklist. What you need to think about when you do your taxes. Make sure you're logged in as quickly as possible. Your passwords are autofilled. You are immediately in the web portal and stuff like that. Make sure your documents are all sorted and you can find them. This is a lot of initial work, but once you're in the flow and you live this way, it gets easier, and the invested time compounds, because if you have all that down, the really boring and annoying tasks get easier. And if the really annoying and boring tasks get easier, you do them more easily. You are more willing to do them because the friction is lower. That's what I mean when I say reduce friction. If a lot of barriers are in the way, you kind of lose motivation before you even started, and that is a big problem. And it doesn't even need to have to be taxes. It can be ordering food or ordering something from Amazon. Imagine you have to search your passwords every time, or you need to search the bookmark link for whatever it is you're searching. Always make everything in your life that you need to do on a daily or weekly basis as easy and as fast as possible. This may sound like a lot of work at first, and a lot of people would say, yeah, why would I waste time improving that stuff when I just could do the task in 1 minute, and it's not that big a deal. It's the amount of tasks that do it. You know what I mean? It's like if you improve 1,000 things, your life gets 1,000 times more efficient and 1,000 times faster and 1,000 times easier. Trust me. If you think about it, removing friction is one of the biggest life hacks ever. And that stuff compounds. The time you invest in removing friction gives you more time later, and it compounds, and you can reinvest the time and reinvest the time, and it compounds and compounds and compounds, just like the stock market. You have to look at everything in your life through this lens. Is this an investment in my future, and does it compound, or does it have diminishing returns? This is why, for me, for example, working out is so hard. I know working out is good for me, yes. I know I should work out more, and I want to work out more, but the problem is working out has diminishing returns, and I don't like stuff like that. That's why I find it hard to motivate me. you have to work out consistently, and you work out, and if you don't, you just get fat again and you get lazy again, and it has kind of diminishing returns effect. That's something that doesn't compound, yeah. And think about the stuff in your life that compounds. I love that, like investing time in stuff that gives you more time and an easier life later. Example, a checklist. I have to do a checklist once in my life, no matter what that is. I have like 1,000 checklists. I have videos about checklists on my channel, like mental health checklists when I get sick, when I get burned out, when something bad happens, or when I don't know, when I go on vacation or stuff like that. Doing a checklist once is a lot of initial work, yeah, and then when the next time you use it, you kind of notice weak points, and then you improve it. And if you improve it, the next time it gets even better, and the work gets less and less and less, and you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it a lot of times. And doing a checklist once is an initial work which pays dividends for years and years and years. This is stuff that is awesome because it compounds, and is work that makes your future life easier. YouTube is kind of the same way. That's where I like it. The videos I do are not entirely lost in oblivion. It's a body of work which might pay off someday. It's videos can be discovered later. Stuff can be discovered later. It basically, the work is done, yes, and it's up there and it's out there, and it might help somebody, or it might get views or watch hours years in the future. I don't know, but it is a kind of work that has a lot of initial effort, but pays off indefinitely almost. And you have to look at your life and identify stuff that works like that, you know, stuff that compounds. This is awesome. If you grind really hard and develop systems in your life that compound, you will have a much easier life later. Like productivity systems is the same thing. That's why I'm geeking out about to-do lists so much. If you have a system, productivity system, where you live by every day, it gets improved every day, it pays dividends every day. It's a lot of initial work, but the payoff is years and years, and even the skills and the discipline, it pays off years and years. It's awesome. Yeah. What is also compounding, you could say working out falls under that category, yes, but health compounds as well. If you eat healthy and you do healthy stuff, yes, of course that includes working out, but also look what you eat and stuff. You get more energy. You can invest that energy and working out and getting even more energy. You can invest that energy into building other stuff that compounds. You are less tired, you feel better, you have a longer life. So basically it kind of compounds. Yeah. Relationships, skills, knowledge are all things that compound. If you invest in skills, they will pay off forever. You won't lose the skills. Nobody can take this away from you. If you learn programming today, it will pay you future dividends, because that skill, it will always be relevant, no matter how much we will rely on AI. The concepts and the abstract thinking skills and stuff like that, it helps you really in the future and with other parts in life. It's not like this stuff, you learn it once and then it goes away. It pays dividends forever in the future. You will have these skills forever. And the same goes for relationships. If you invest in your relationships, you will have a compounding effect, because people will, if you help people, people will remember and will help you and stuff like that. Knowledge is a good one. Not only knowledge in your head, like, of course, if you know a lot of stuff, that will pay dividends and it will compound, but also if you build yourself a knowledge base, like I do with my notes app. Yeah, I built a knowledge base for my life and my daily life, like with journaling and stuff I need to remember, or stuff I occasionally need to look up and find data or something. If I have ideas, I put it in there. A knowledge base is really something that helps you. It's also a lot of initial work until you set it up, until the first notes are in there and stuff like that. But then you get used to writing shit down, and if you always write shit down, your future life will be easier. And that's a good one. Don't rely on your brain too much. Use external systems. I even see my data hoarding with my storage server. I even see that as an investment, because I have all my documents, ebooks, videos, movies, all the stuff I like and love. I'm basically preserving culture, and I have that on my storage server at home. I'm not dependent on Netflix or on Disney Plus. If they take a movie down, I don't care. I have my own server. Yeah, I also see this as a kind of future investment, to have a central storage server for my stuff, because it's kind of awesome. I can access it from everywhere, my documents, everything, and it's an investment, and it compounds. It takes less maintenance over time, because I get used to it, and it takes less work to uphold it. Every time it gets easier and easier, but the payoff still is the same. Yeah? Every year, every month, every week, I benefit from my server. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. If you have problems to motivate yourself to do stuff, always frame it like, does it compound? And if I invest the time, do I gain time to reinvest the time? Always think in compounding systems. If I do something once, will it pay me dividends forever or years? If that is the case, then invest the time and work on it. That's what I wanted to say. I'm not sure. Okay. Shit posting is urgent, grinds that matters. That was a ToasterBotnet. See you. Bye.